Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Hope you're here bringing guys a new video. And today we're going to be talking about ranked in Legends ZA. I'm going to kind of talk about if it's easy to get into, if it's worth to get into, how hard it is to make competitive mons and stuff like that. But first, I just want to say, if you haven't played Legends ZA, it's a pretty fun game. It's not a standard Pokemon game, of course. It is a mainline series game, so don't say it's not because people are saying that. It is. But it does continue the story of X and Y, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot of connections and a lot of Easter eggs and stuff that throughout the game. And it's a lot of fun. It's just a fun game. Who cares about the textures? Who cares about any of that stuff? Sorry, it's going to turn night here. Who cares? That's not what we're playing the game for. We're playing play some Pokemon. And the models are a lot better and stuff like that. So if that's your concern, just play the game or just don't. Just do whatever you want. But it is actually fun, and if you're not playing the game because of some graphics, then you're just missing out. But anyways, let's talk about the ranked mode. It's a lot of fun. I was on the fence whether it was going to be a good time or not. It seemed like it was going to be like, whatever, who cares kind of thing. But actuality, it's a lot of fun. The mode is like 4-player free-for-all where you're just trying to knock out as many Pokemon as you can. You can play this in different ways. There's some strategy to it. You can just go around and just last shot Pokemon, or you can, just go in with big attackers and try to get, 2 or 3 knockouts with your big attacks. So there is some strategy to it. You can switch up to 3 times in a single battle. So if you have like a type disadvantage against like a multiple opponents or a specific opponent, you can actually switch right before they do their attack to dodge their attack, which is pretty cool. You can also Mega Evolve to dodge an attack. So if they're about to hit you with like a big super effective like flamethrower or something like that on your Steel type, you just go for the Mega Evolution and you dodge it. So there is some strategy and there's some maneuverability and stuff like that. Pretty cool. A lot of fun. But is it hard to actually get into? No. If you just want to go in and you just want to get to rank K, which you have to get Greninja's Megastone, you could just do that with your in-game team. Like, it's fine. It doesn't matter if you lose. Just try to do some of the things like Mega Evolve. Try to, like, maybe get 1 knockout. Pick up some of the items that drop, because there are these random items and they give you power-ups. Just pick up some of those and you will get points. And you get enough points, you get a little bit of experience towards your level, you go up a rank, right? Try to be like a little bit more cowardly, like come in and get last shots, stuff like that. You will eventually get there. It took me, I believe, 5 games, it might have even been 6, to actually get to rank J, which is 1 more than K, obviously. And I had all but one of those, so because I had a competitive team, so I had a huge advantage over people, and that made it really, really easy. Now, how hard is it to get that competitive team, right? How difficult? So let's go over the team first. This team I went with Metagross, I went with Abomasnow, and I went with Garchomp. Okay, so Abomasnow is the easiest one to get. You can get Abomasnow pretty quickly over here at Wild Zone Area 12, and you just get Snovers. You can just catch as many Snovers as you want and just keep resetting to get more Snovers, and you can also catch the Alpha Abomasnow. And we'll talk about Alphas in a minute here, because there's something very important about Alphas that you need to know. But you just get them and try to get the one with the best stats you possibly can. Speed is not super, super important in this game as it is in other games, so you could kind of take whatever speed you can get. It's not that big of a deal. If you want to get max speed, then go for it for sure, but you don't really need to worry about speed. You need to worry about all the other stats that you're going to be utilizing in the battles. So you can get Snover pretty easily. Now, for Garchomp, it's a little bit more difficult. You're going to come over to Area 8, and it's a rare spawn. So what you have to do is you have to go around, look into the holes to see if they're Drillbur or they're a Gibble. And if it's a Gibble, then you can try to catch it, knock it out, catch it. Always do that when you're going to catch something. Try to catch it while it's at full HP, hit it to knock it out, and then try to catch it again. That way you're getting 2 opportunities rather than just 1 if you knocked it out and try to catch it. So always do 2. So not too bad there, and you can keep resetting these Pokemon for shiny. So if you want a shiny one, you just go there, and there's other guides online. I'm not going to show you guys how to reset and everything like that, but there are guides. Now, the next Pokemon is a little bit more difficult, and that's going to be the I don't even know. Yeah, here it is going to be the Beldum, and you get Beldum in here, and there's 2 that spawn in the exact same room, so you can just sit there and spawn camp them. And that's an interesting premise, right? It's something you can't do in any other Pokemon game, really. But you can just knock them out, and they will respawn. And respawn timer in this game is not based on anything but a real-life timer. So you could leave the area, come back, those Beldum will still be gone if you haven't passed that threshold. And that threshold is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you could just sit in the room, try to catch them. You don't catch them, you knock them out, you try to catch them again. And if you don't get the one you want or the one you like, then you just sit there for 2 minutes and 30 seconds for them to respawn, and you do it again. And you can do this an infinite amount of times. I thought that maybe the spawn would like increase every single time by an incremental amount, but after testing, it does not. So you don't have to worry about that at all. And that goes for any Pokemon in this whole entire game. If you do knock something out that's in a wild area, let's say you knock out like all of the Drillburs, you're going to have to wait 2 minutes and 30 seconds for those Drillburs to start respawning again. That can then roll into Gibbles. So don't knock out Pokemon if you're looking for a certain Pokemon. Just leave the area, rest on a bench, or fly to a different area and fly back. And that will respawn all the Pokemon in that area. And that will re-roll their chance of being a Gibble or a Shiny. So you can Shiny hunt this way too. So yeah, keep that in mind. Not too bad. I'll put some footage up while I'm talking about this of what's going on with the Beldums and how I kind of farm that. So that's the Pokemon I got. That's how I got them. Now, let's talk about Alpha Pokemon, right? So anytime you respawn a Pokemon, it has a chance to be Shiny. It has a chance to be Alpha. I don't know what the probabilities of being an Alpha is. The Shiny is like 1 in 4,000 something. If you get the Shiny Charm, it goes to like 1 in 1,000 or something. It's like really, really small. So it's actually a very good chance to get shinies in this game, which is good. If you're a shiny hunter, that's very, very good. You can spam get all the shinies. There's already some, methods out there to get a ton of shinies really quickly, but that's not what this is about. So Alpha Pokemon are suboptimal, and you might be like, why? Because look how big he is, right? He's just gigantic. And that's the problem. The bigger they are, the bigger their actual hitboxes are. Oops, I did not mean to do that. The bigger their actual hitboxes are. So he can be hit by further away. And he can be hit by more AoEs. And he can be hit by multiple opponents at the same time. So using Alpha Pokemon is actually worse. But using Alpha Pokemon gives you a guaranteed 3 IVs. Which is obviously good. You want 3 perfect IVs, right? That's what you're going to use. These 2 are Alpha Pokemon. So, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It's the best way to get IVs, but it's the worst actually in competitive. And once again, I was using 2, and I still easily got up there. So it can be done. But if you can, try to get small. And the way you can check that is if you just go to their summary, you can see where it says the size classification tells you how big they are. So you can see there's a lot of smalls. This is a large. So I mean a lot of mediums. But then you check these, and they're always going to be extra large on these Pokemon. But you can get smalls. I don't know if I have any smalls, so I don't know if this is I'm going to be able to show you guys. But you can get small. Extra small. Here's an extra small Snover, right? So this Snover would actually be better to use in competitive because it's small and it's extra small on top of that. But then you look at its EVs and it's not very good, right? So if you want to maximize your damage, your bulk, and stuff like that, you're gonna want 5 IVs. Once again, speed's not as important, so you can maybe go 4 IVs. But if you want speed, you're going to outspeed others of the same speed tier, so your attacks will be slightly faster. If you guys use to attack at the same time, yours will go first. So there is some benefit to having speed, of course. But it's not the most important stat of all time in this game. Bulk is. Bulk is king in the competitive mode of this game. So I'm talking about EVs or IVs. Let's talk about EVs a little bit. EVs are really, really easy. And we're going to go back to IVs, by the way. We will in a second. EVs are very, very easy. Easier, actually, than it is in any other game because they are cheaper. They are much, much cheaper. So you just go to one of the Pokemon centers. At a certain point, you'll unlock these. And they're 5,000. So it's relatively cheap. You know, you buy 26 to get a 252. You're only spending 1,300. It's not bad at all. So, yeah, going for this. And there's a lot on the ground. You'll find a lot. Like, I have 12 Zincs. I didn't even buy one. I used a bunch. So you will find a bunch on the ground. Some missions give you some. So there are multiple ways. Let me get this Ultra Ball back. There are multiple ways to actually acquire them. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Though, getting feathers is much more difficult. There's no guarantee way to get feathers. You just have to find them on the ground and get lucky. That's the only way to actually get them. So that kind of sucks. But something that is good is if you are just doing the quest, you will get the power items, and the power items help boost the EVs that you get from defeating Pokemon in battle. So you can definitely use these, go out and EV train the old-fashioned way. Nothing wrong with that. So EVs, I wouldn't even be concerned about. Not a big deal. Really, really easy in this game, and I could appreciate that. You can also buy power items if you want to do more EV training than just one Pokemon. You can actually buy these. So from the Mega Shard person in the headquarters. I don't know how to say the name of that place. All right, so we have all that down. Next, how do you actually get hyper trained, right? You will unlock hyper training. I think there might be a mission you have to do. It's actually over here. There might be a mission you have to do before this. I was just kind of doing missions and then noticed it was here. So there might be a mission, but you just go here. I'm just lost and confused. And you'll see these two here. They have hyper training and they have Seeds of Mastery. First, we'll talk about Seeds of Mastery. So Seeds of Mastery make your moves into plus moves. That means if you're not Mega Evolved, you can actually press plus, and those moves will become plus moves, and they'll do more damage or they'll have different effects. So you can get that, but to do that, you actually have to get these items called Seeds of Mastery. And you're going to want to do this on any competitive mon you have, because not all the Pokemon you're going to bring are going to be able to Mega Evolve. You could certainly bring all Mega Evolved Pokemon, but you might have one or two that aren't Mega Evolved Pokemon, and you're going to want to use these on them so you can do extra damage against opposing Mega Pokemon that are going to be bulkier or maybe stronger, and maybe get one-shots on them. And you just press start and then do the attack like you normally would, and you're going to do that extra damage. When a Pokemon Mega Evolves, all their moves automatically become C+ moves, or the plus versions of the move, so you don't even have to worry about that. Now, this person does the hyper training, and hyper training works exactly the same way that it does in Scarlet and Violet, where your Pokemon has to be level 50, then you're able to increase its stats. Sorry, we're gonna have to sit through this. You're able to increase your stats, and you can then, you know, max it out. And there are bottle caps and gold bottle caps in this game, and that is the bottleneck of the competitive scene in this game. And the reason for that is because they're very hard to get. So you get actually 10 from doing Mabel's research, getting up to level 36, which isn't the easiest thing in the world in the first place. But you do get 10, which is a good amount. That's enough for 2 full Pokemon, which is nice. And you get gold bottle caps at level 48, which is an insane level. But you're getting 3, and that's going to be for 3 whole Pokemon. You'll be able to just straight up max out their IVs. So that's pretty good. But then that's it. So if you want to then get more bottle caps, there's nobody to buy bottle caps from. There's no like way to get them as drops, I don't believe. Not that I have found or read online, and I could be wrong, and if I am, make sure you leave it down below. Let me know. And like, you have to grind for these. Excuse me, you have to grind for these, and not in a fun way. So the way to get them is you have to do Infinite Royale. And if you don't know, after you beat the game, you actually unlock Infinite Royale, where you have to get 50,000 points, as you can see there. And then you get a random match. And as you can see, I've done 3 of these. And it's a random opponent that you faced throughout your ZA Royale challenge. And it's like the most recent version of that person you faced, I believe. That's what it seems like to me. And so you have to go to the battle zones, of course, and you got to do the battle zones. And out of my testing, this takes about 20 to 30 minutes to max out the 50,000. That all depends on what cards you get. If you get really good cards, like there's ones that give like 20,000 points, you could probably get this done faster than that. But after you get that 50,000, you have to go to the headquarters here, and you'll see it says keep on battling in the Infinite ZA Royale, right? So you're just doing this, and you're just building this up, and you're building this up. And I'm going to put this on screen right now. There is a chart, and that chart has percentage chances of getting these things. So at the top of this, you could see it's 7% chance, and you can get some of the EV items. That's a 25,000 value, so it's not that great, right? Like in one of these royales, right, you're getting about, the lowest I've ever gotten is like 110, but I've also gotten up to 180,000, and I don't even have the canaries that increase the money that you gain. So that's just what I'm getting from that, and I don't know if those canaries actually affect it, so I could be wrong on that, but that's how much I'm getting, plus the battle that you're doing for the Infinite ZA reward. So there's some money coming your way already, but you can see you get these. That's 25,000 because you're getting 5 of them. And then Big Nugget, which I think is 20k, so that's even worse, and that's a 14,000. And even if it is 40k, because maybe it's 40k or 30k, it's still just not worth it. It just has no value, right? The money doesn't have any value at a certain point because you can't buy the things you need. So you're just getting money from doing these already, and then you're just getting some more money. It just like is counterintuitive. It just doesn't give you what you need. And then these are decent rewards. You can get the Apricorn balls, also Master Ball, which is nice. And then you have some useless ones here. Metal Coat, Whip Dream, Sachet, and King's Rock. These are useless. Yeah, they're evolution items. You could buy these, by the way. You can buy these at Racine Construction. Who cares about these? Who cares about these? And then at the bottom here, you can see you get 3 bottle caps at 6.9% chance, which is actually the same as getting the items up here, but also bottle cap at 3.45%. So essentially, you have a 12 to 13% chance of getting a bottle cap, and that's a decent chance. But it's still a chance, right? It's still a chance, and I've done 3 of them, and that's taken me an hour. So in 1 hour I did 3. Okay. that's not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's gonna take you what, since 13% chance, I guess like 8 to 9 to get a like in probability chance of getting a bottle cap, which you probably still won't hit it, but you could hit it the first time. But you get 3. That's not enough for one Pokemon. You get the gold ball cap, that's enough for one Pokemon, that's great. But 3 is not enough for one Pokemon. So you're going to need to get that again. And if you have a special attacking Pokemon, you don't want gold bottle cap. You just want bottle cap. So you need to do it 2 times to be able to EV train one Pokemon. So you have to hit 2 6.9% chances to EV train one Pokemon. That's a 3% chance. That means now your odds are, what, 3 in 200 rather than 6 in 100. Like, it just gets worse, right? It's just bad. It's just really, really bad. I don't know. I think that's like the detriment to this and what will make this game not ever viable. Which is a disappointment because a lot of people, some of these Pokemon, they're not going to be able to get any other way. Especially if you just started on Scarlet and Violet and you want to get into Pokemon Champions and you have this game. And I'm guessing that the first format is going to be all of these Pokemon, maybe some other Pokemon with it. Because we've already seen like Incineroar and stuff. And I could be wrong, but I believe it's going to be all these Pokemon. And there's some Pokemon that you can only get on here or you can only get on like, you know, Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, or, you know, even like Diamond and Pearl or something. Like, there's some Pokemon that fit that category, and you just won't be able to use them, and you'll have to get them through this. And if you have like a shiny, now like you're just struggling to get that Pokemon to be competitively viable. You can EV train on this game, so if you really if the Pokemon is in the Pokedex, you can transfer it over here to get that EV training going, which is nice. But getting those bottle caps like is bad, and it would be okay if you're like, well, I'll just catch alphas, right? I could just catch alphas. They'll already come with 3. I only need like 2. Fine, that's fine, like great. But they're suboptimal because they're so big, and they just take so many more attacks. So if you do want to take it serious, or if somebody's like hosting a tournament and you're like, well, I want to participate and just have a good time, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be so tough for you. Because if other people have theirs and they didn't use this and they just got lucky on their 13% chances, you're just at a disadvantage. And the last thing I want to talk about, which is a positive, and I will give it a positive mark here, we're going to go look at how to get mints, because you can actually buy mints and they cost the same amount that they do in Scarlet and Violet. Nope. Pressing all the wrong buttons, boys, because I'm thinking about Scarlet and Violet, and my brain only has one function. All right, so right over here, this is like a random place. You probably passed by this and not even thought about it. But if you go in here, these people with the flowers, they actually sell mints. And this one sells attacking mints, so you can see that. This person sells berries, so if there's a specific berry you're looking for, check out anybody with this. And they're scattered about the map too, so you can find some of these. This one here is going to be selling defensive mints. We go over this way here, and we're going to see another person here, and they're going to be giving special attacking mints. And then right behind is going to be special attack or special defense mints. I don't know where the speed mint person is, so if anybody knows where that is, please let me know, because I haven't been able to find it, and I haven't found any information online on where that person could be. Though the speed mints are probably the most useless, and you probably don't need them anyways, just in case there is one build that ends up coming up, maybe like a Focus Sash build or something that just does a ton of damage. It might be worth just knowing where it is, if there is one, but I have no idea. I have not seen it, but mints are really easy. They're 20k each, just like they are in Scarlet and Violet, so that is perfectly fine. It's just the bottle caps and the alpha Pokemon. Like, those are the two biggest negatives, but the mode is a lot of fun. Definitely go do it. Definitely go get your Greninja. It ends on November 5th, so make sure you guys are getting it before that, and then I think it's Chestnut going into the next one, so make sure you come back and get that too. DLC comes out in February, so we'll have all 3 of those, because I think it's going to go November and then December. And then we'll have all those, and then nobody will play the game for all of January, and then most of... I think it comes out the 28th of February, so nobody's going to play it for all of February either. And then we can come back, and we can see what new megas are going to be invited into the game. By then, I think, if I was a betting man, I think that Pokemon Home will be compatible with it, so you'll be able to bring over some of your Pokemon. So it might not even be a big deal, because if we get that access to like Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, where we can actually build these Pokemon up and then bring them over, they're already going to have their max stats. We're already going to be able to bottle cap them and breed them to have max stats and stuff. So that won't even be an issue. I wouldn't even worry about that. But we gotta wait for Pokemon Home for that, and I think it will drop with the DLC, because we've seen similar things happen in the past. Who knows? Just remember, if you do bring a Pokemon over to this game, you won't be able to put it back into Scarlet Violet or any of the older games. You will be able to use it in Pokemon Champions still, so there's a little bit of a trade-off there. And anybody who's concerned about that and is like, well, that's such a stupid thing, they've done it before. It's not. It is a stupid thing, and I will agree that, in my opinion, there should be no reason. There's probably a technical reason, but they have done it before. This isn't the first time. You can't put Pokemon back into Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. You also can't put Pokemon from that you transferred up to Gen 7 back into Gen 6 games. So, like, if you put it in Sun and Moon, you cannot put it back into Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So, anybody who's saying it's stupid, why would they do that? They've done it before. It's not the first time. So, it's not something that was unexpected. Once again, I just don't know why they do it. I don't know any of that information on why it can't be done, but that's just the way it is. Anything else? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any marks or anything in this game, which I also don't like, but they could be hidden or secret, just like when you take the picture of your Pokemon in Legends ZA or Legends Arceus. You don't get to see it in the game, but when you transfer it over, you get to see it. So there might be some hidden stuff like that. I just don't know yet, but hopefully there is, because I like those, and it would suck if there wasn't. But yeah, let me know what your guys' favorite mega is, by the way. My favorite has been Excadrill. This dude is busted as heck. He's so good. But he's kind of been my favorite. And then Starmie is just hilarious. It's just so funny. But yeah, anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys thumbs it up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you guys do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.